easy street.
Question no.
Because there isn't a lot of great documentaries out there about hip-hop. First of all, Mike, why did you do this?
You know, I made the film because I've always been curious about why A Tribe Called Quest stopped recording, and if they would continue to record. That was really the inception and the origins of the movie. When they broke up in 1998, I flew to New York to watch the last show. It was publicized as the last show, and it was a very emotional night for the fans. It was very emotional for them. I think everybody was kind of in shock, like this is sort of the end of something really special. And throughout the years, I was always curious, you know, hip-hop artists, you know, the span of hip-hop artists' lifetime is very short. I'm like, you guys are alive, you're not in jail, you're you know, people still want you. You know, will you do it? Will you make more music? And then that turned into, you know, I want to do a documentary about you guys. And they were like, all right. And really kind of getting started was a really innocent and simple process. You know, getting it going was really kind of the easiest part of the whole thing.
Right, well, you know, probably about a year ago. And by the way, this comes out on July the...
It opens July 8th in New York and Los Angeles. And then it opens in San Francisco, D.C., and Chicago, July 15th. And then it's going to open in other cities throughout the country. And it's, you know, it's, for me, I mean, it's enormously exciting. Obviously, you know, you always have an end goal of, you know, the biggest release for your movie, and you want the most people to see your work, hear your work. But for a movie about hip-hop and about a group like A Tribe Called Quest to come out in actual movie theaters throughout the country is really, truly, is beyond my wildest expectations. And for a company like Sony Pictures Classics that releases Woody Allen movies and other like really classy movies, it's only right, because as far as I'm concerned, one word that is always associated with A Tribe Called Quest music is class.
Right.
So
the website, SonyClassics.com, for more information about the film, Beats, Rhymes, and Life, The Travels of Tribe Called Quest. Now, I have to ask you this, Fife, because I was reading on the internet probably about a year ago when they were talking about this documentary. I guess it was already in the works, that there were some problems, some challenges, some things said about, okay, this is going on, this is being said. And was there any type of beef between you and Mike, or was it Tip and Mike? What was going on with that?
I don't even know how to answer that, but as far as me and him, there was never any beef. I was in support of the film 100% from day one. I can't really speak for everybody else in the group, but maybe Mike could speak on that.
Did Q-Tip have a problem with you?
Q-Tip didn't have a problem with me until he saw the movie. And I think and at first, quite honestly, and I wish he was here, you know, he said, I don't have a problem with you. You just turn the cameras on. I love what you did. I love the movie. And, you know, I think, you know, like all the stuff that happened on the internet and the Twitter, I think that I could tell you one thing that we all agreed on, is that we all agreed to do this movie. This isn't some, you know, ragtag operation I'm running here. We all signed off legally to do the movie. I could promise you that I didn't intend or think or expect the film to be as interpersonal and as emotionally charged as it is in some parts of the film. And I think seeing that, and I know that, you know, the members of the group, A Tribe Called Quest, are very aware of what it means and what it means and what it's meant to the fans. And I think kind of seeing, you know, I'll use the term dirty laundry, or, you know, seeing some of your vulnerabilities or flaws articulated in a film can be daunting. It could be frightening. It could be embarrassing. I know that throughout the process, I was very conscious, like, man, if somebody was doing a documentary about me, how would I feel? And, you know, how would I deal with it? And would I be as open as they were? And how would I feel if you talked to, you know, my ex-girlfriend and my ex-wife and, you know, my best friend who, you know, maybe we have a fractured relationship. So I was very aware and conscious of that. But I never intended to make a fluff piece, and I never intended to do just, you know, this is each song and this is how we put each song together. So, you know, I think that all the stuff that got in the press and the twittering and all that stuff, I think it was a reflection of the film being emotionally charged. And quite honestly, I'm glad the film's emotionally charged. I mean, Tribe Called Quest music is emotional experience. You know, that's why people have such a strong reaction to them, and they have a claim on them. Like, I love a Tribe Called Quest. That's my shit. You know, Check the Rhyme. That's my shit. You know, Midnight Marauders. That's my shit. You know, you get that way because you have an emotional attachment to it. And I know that I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you if the film was just a, you know, an A, B's, and C's on how they did it. So I'm really happy with the way it turned out. Honestly.
You know, one thing that I will say, after I saw the film, I listened to Tribe for like 5 days straight.
Right.
I mean,
like it was
non-stop.
91.
Exactly, non-stop. I pulled out the Low End Theory, Midnight Marauders, went back to the first album as well, man, and I just, all day long. That's all my tweets were just verses from Phife or verses from Q-Tip, and people's like, what the hell is going on? But I have to ask you this without telling too much about the film. By the way, in theaters on July 8th, Beats, Rhymes, and Life, The Travels of a Tribe Called Quest. Phife, let me ask you this, because you and Q-Tip go all the way back to like 2nd grade, right?
No, actually 2 years old.
2 years old. So it's 2 years old, not 2nd grade.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there was I don't want to give too much of the film out, but you can see pictures of you guys in the same classroom as children.
Right.
So you guys go way back.
Mm-hmm.
Just like brothers.
Right.
So what happened? Where did things begin to go south?
It is what it is. Family fight.
Right.
You know what I mean? I have a younger brother, so that doesn't really count because he's way younger than me. But most of the time, brothers fight, sisters fight, cousins fight, or what have you. We're no exception. You know what I mean? Same thing. We just happen to end up making music together for the masses to see. You know what I mean? Everybody assumes that we're attached to the hip and nothing should go awry. I don't know where they get that from, but it happens. You know what I mean?
I know where they get that from, and you know, just it's because, you know, their chemistry was so strong, and when you saw them on videos and when you heard them on the songs, it was so seamless. And you know, I remember there was one line, I don't remember what song it is because I'm kind of Tribe Called, it's like all like a blur, but like the rerun, the Chachi, Laverne to Shirley, Q-Tip to Pfeiffer, that's what you thought. Like you, like they're forever.
Right.
You know, like these guys, like it, you know, and it wasn't contrived, and it wasn't, you know, I mean, like the thing about the movie and the thing about Tribe Called Quest is, you know, groups have been breaking up. You know, great groups have broken the hearts of fans, from the Beatles to NSYNC to Destiny's Child to the Supremes. You know, it happens. You know, the Los Angeles Lakers, you know, won 3 championships and then kind of, you know, imploded. The Bulls did it. You know, I mean, it happens. Businesses, you know, businessmen, great, powerful businessmen will go their separate ways because of personality conflicts. And, you know, the one thing that's revealed in the movie is, you know, the Tribe Called Quest, they are a family, and their relationship is like brothers. And, you know, you don't always want to have dinner with your brother. You don't always want to hang out with your brother. Your brother, you know, I go to see my brother, and in the first 5 minutes, I'm like, you know, fuck you, man. I want to get the fuck out of here. And they'd be like, well, you just came over. Well, I want to get the fuck out of here. I mean, that's what happens.
Right.
And your family members and the people that you love the most can provoke you, and you know, you'll react in a way that no one else will. It's the people you love the most. And one thing that I could tell you about the group is that, you know, despite some of the difficulties that they've had, and you know, the things that have, you know, made them go the separate way, it's always like a love there, even when it's like a, you know, I want to fucking kill you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's not anything new. I think it's new articulating it in a film, and it's new articulating in a film where it's emotional, and it's not just, yo, fuck you, I'm gonna fucking, you know, it's emotional. Like, these guys are emotional, and they're vulnerable.
Right.
in the presentation of the film, which I think is, for me, I'm really proud of that.
No doubt. Beats, Rhymes, and Life, Travels of a Tribe Called Quest, in theaters in D.C. on July the 15th. Phife, I have to ask you this, man. What happened without telling us too much, because we want people to see the film, just give us a little snippet. What happened at the Rock the Bells tour?
Which show? I mean...
You guys went on tour. You guys decided to go back on tour as the Tribe Called Quest. Everyone was there. What happened? Do you remember? Was there an instance a time when you guys just kind of bumped heads, you and Q-Tip?
Basically, well, I know what you're talking about. First of all, this was the day before he started shooting this film. And we had a show in Los Angeles. And I just happened to be home in the Bay Area. And I went to get a haircut. So I'm going to get the haircut, and there's a Spin magazine sitting right next to me. And to my surprise, it says Q-Tip. I'm like, oh, word? Check out what Homeboy's talking about. So, I open it up, and the interview, whoever was interviewing him says, how did you and Phife mend your friendship in order to proceed with touring and yada, yada, yada. Now, we've been in this business for a while. You know how to get around any question, pretty much. So instead of saying something like, what I just said earlier, brothers fight, family fight, or what have you, that would have been a nice general consensus, you know what I'm saying? This Kamal says, I never had a problem with Phife. Phife had a problem with me. Just pretty much threw me under the bus. So I was kind of pissed off about that. So the rest of the tour, I just was like, because, the way I took it, and this is, me and him is cool now, you know what I'm saying? But the way I took it was like, yo, we've been on tour for like a good 7, 8 dates already. We laughing, we cooling, you know what I'm saying? Everything is gravy, but on the low, it's like, this how you feel, or you throwing me under the bus on some whatever. And I didn't agree with that. I didn't think it was cool. And again, after I read that, he's smiling in my face like everything is gravy, you know what I'm saying? But then all hit the fan the very next week once we did the show in San Francisco.
Right.
You know what I mean? Little ice grills here and there, whatever. Well, I really wasn't speaking. I just wasn't saying nothing. I have no problem getting on stage and not speaking. Because at the end of the day, like he said, the chemistry's going to be there. The fans don't have to know all of that. I'm here to do my job. We're not the Temptations. We don't have moves. We don't do splits. I know the words. Let's make it happen.
Like Kobe and Shaq, right?
Like Kobe and Shaq, 3 titles in a row. And they did not,
Right.
So, I mean, it happens, but nothing big. It was big at the time, but that wasn't the first time something like that happened.
Got to see the film. Got to see the film, and you'll be filled in on all this great stuff we're talking about. Michael, I have to ask you this. As a fan of Tribe Called Quest, and to see this conflict going on between Phife and Q-Tip, how did that make you feel?
Well, as a fan, it didn't affect me because the music is the music. And then when I kind of got, caught up in the stuff, I would just listen to the music. But as a man and as someone who's witnessing it, and who's been through my own share of fractured relationships with friends, it was hard to be around because you just want to. And I would ask during interviews, well, did you tell him that? Have you guys talked about this? And then that would lead us down another path. And then I would look at the footage and start editing the scenes and know that, yeah, I'm saying, did you do that? And I know that in my own personal life, yeah, I could be doing better at mending my side of the street in my relationship. So as a fan, it didn't affect me. The music is always going to be spectacular and timeless. But it was hard to be around because, people arguing or missing each other. It's not even arguments. It's like, if you guys just kind of got, clear with each other, this would be solved, like you just like want to fix it, and come on, but it was hard to watch sometimes because a part of me started to care about it.
Yeah.
And so that was tough. But I tried to be completely non-judgmental and not bring my own personal feelings or agenda to it, and try to be as a filmmaker be just kind of a blank slate when I'm around it. And certainly in the editing room, I'm not there to judge or pick sides or who's right or who's wrong, and just try to tell the story in a balanced way as best I can.